What is going on, everyone? Here it is. This is the Neca Tmnt turtle van. Now, if you're watching this video, the odds are you ordered this van yourself or you're familiar with it and you realize that, well, most of us paid for this about a year and a half ago. So I am more than excited to get it. Actually, I got this thing yesterday. FedEx pulled up, which was unannounced for me. I didn't actually get any tracking for this, and I didn't know, I wasn't expecting anything, so I was half puzzled if this might have been what it was. So he dropped it off, which I was super excited about, although it did say sample, so I'm intrigued why my box said sample. I don't know if this actually is a sample piece. If you're watching my video, you probably already watched Pixel Dan's video where he actually got a sample piece, which didn't include batteries. So when we unbox this, the real question in this video is, do I get batteries? Alright guys, without further ado, I want to get everything out of this box so we can actually further review this van. Alright, let's do it. But real quick, I kind of want to discuss the artwork with you guys. So, the front of this bad boy has some nice artwork from the actual Tmnt series itself. With the van, we have Leonardo on the top, Michelangelo in the seat, Donnie in the passenger seat, Raph on the side, kicking some butt, and April driving. So, pretty cool, although honestly, I would have liked some sort of the vehicle itself implemented to the front of it, but I feel like a lot of people probably disagree with that. But nonetheless, if you go right to the side of the box, you know, we actually get artwork of the van itself, the actual toy itself, with Donnie driving, Raph in the gunner seat, if you will. If you go to the other side, it's just the van itself with no one in it, just to kind of showcase what the van looks like. Now if we go right to the back, now these are the shots I like. These are actually action shots of the toy that we have, of the van. I think this big shot is kind of how I'm going to display mine, with some bad guys kind of attacking, so I'm going to be real thrilled about that. This whole box very much goes with all the other Tmnt series, so if you have other box items you want to go with this, it's going to look really, really good. But honestly, I am not the guy that usually cares about the box or the box artwork, although it is cool. I'm more interested in what's inside. So without further ado, everyone, let's open this up. Alright guys, so this is everything outside this bad boy box. Let's go ahead and put this down for now. So first impressions, literally my first time really picking it up. Not super heavy for its size. I like it though. Instantly, I'm in love. Some nitpicking we're going to do in this video, but first impressions are really, really good. So let's go ahead and scoot this just a little bit over here. So this is everything outside the box. It's packaged really well inside, by the way, as I'm sure I'm showing you right now. So it's packaged really, really well. This is everything. By the way, you might be noticing what I'm missing here is apparently you're supposed to get batteries. There's no batteries. So I don't know if this is technically a pre-production. Comment below. I'm sure someone watching this has this, maybe multiple of them. Just get batteries. I just need to know if you've got batteries or not. So we have the turret guns. I don't know if it's a proper name for them, but we'll call it the turret guns for the top here. Go ahead and see if they're easy enough to drop in, which they are. Oh yeah, nice rapid sound, beautiful. We have the gunner seat, which would be on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys real quick, and then we'll assemble it off camera because who cares. So we have the gunner seat, which attaches here for who's ever riding on the passenger side. This is a molded in gunner seat of this. So this is alright. You know, I'm not going to be showcasing this. This is what I want to show. You also have the bombers that are also part of this seat. I forget exactly, but I know it has something to do with the gunner seat. This is in the promo shots you put inside of the van. I definitely will be assembling this. I think this is really, really cool. Once again, we're going to talk about this yellow a little bit momentarily. The other piece here, I think if I remember correctly, has something to do with this piece. I don't know if you can swap this for this piece. I honestly forget, but we're going to find out. So guys, let's go ahead and get everything assembled and really talk further about this van and what my thoughts are, and hopefully what your thoughts are going to be as well. All right, guys, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, really, there's no ugly here, so the good and the bad. So, first is the bad. Honestly, I don't have too many complaints. I don't believe I mentioned previously that these are rubber tires. They feel like softer plastic. Yeah, that's not rubber. You know, as far as built quality, you know, if you're online, there's a lot of questions about built quality. I think it's built relatively well. The biggest weakness, and this is a big, I have to say I am disappointed from this one major complaint I have with Neca is, and I'm going to gently open this door, it's just the hinges. To me, they could have did a better job. Yeah, these hinges are super delicate looking. All of them. These aren't as bad, but still, it just gets me nervous, which is a big deal. So if you want to say that, you know, that the build quality is concerning based off of that alone, I think that's a fair assessment, but the rest of it does feel sturdy. I think it's a relatively, you know, decent plastic being used. The paint app appears to be pretty good to me, not that I feel is an area of my expertise. These guys seem all right. You know, the rest of it seems like it's built relatively well. Now, that's the bad. Let's talk about the good. Let's be positive here. Shut that. There we go. Let's shut these doors without... There we go. There we go. The good is this thing looks freaking amazing. Just from a look standpoint, you know, it looks pretty good in pictures. I'm sure it's looking okay in video, but in person, this looks really freaking good. And that's what Neca does so well. I mean, that's what got me to be a Neca fan. Initially, I started with quarter scale movie line. I came across a Raphael years ago when Toys R Us was around in the United States, not to be confused with Canada. So that shows you how long ago I got into that, and I never even heard of Neca at the time. So I came across that, and I was just blown away by the quarter scale Raphael that I found. I ended up collecting all the quarter scale movie lines and then into the movie lines. And then, as I mentioned earlier, at least I believe I did, this stupid vehicle got me into collecting some of the Toon line because I had to have some figures to go with the van. But the good thing is it just, and that's what I'm going to leave it at, you know. It has a lot of details, and that all wraps around the whole concept of how good it looks, how screen accurate it looks. Everything's super detailed. If you go into the van, there's just so many cool details that you could display this several different ways. I think I'm going to make it more of an action scene, have a lot of things open up, have a little bit of a battle scene, but there's a lot to do, and this is going to look phenomenal in your display. I've already seen some pictures of people displaying this, and they have some, as you can imagine, there's some people out there, I'm sure you might be watching this, that have some phenomenal displays, and this piece right here looks fantastic. Price point, let's discuss that real quick. I think this was $250. I'm trying to remember exactly how much it was, but right now they're easily selling for just under that $500 mark. I think that $500 mark is pricey for this. I don't see the value there, other than you just want to have it, and I can kind of respect that. $200, it's okay. You know, it just looks really, really good. You know, it doesn't come with a lot either, as far as accessories are concerned, so it's not terribly priced, but it's definitely, you know, bang for your buck doesn't come to mind for it. You know, as we all know, Neca's under a lot of scrutiny with the turtle layer, but for this it seems okay. For me, typically I always felt like Neca gave you a lot of value. If you look at usually 2 packs, you're getting 2 figures, 2 6-inch, very detailed figures, relatively articulated figures, well-painted figures with a bunch of accessories, usually for $60. So that's $30 a figure. So to me, they've always offered value. I think it's a little pricey, but it's in that sweet spot where you're not really going to think much about it. I ordered this with very little hesitation. So, and I probably wish I ordered 2, obviously, because I'm going to be frank with you, I could have sold the second one, basically paid for this one. So I know scalpers are hated in the community, but at the end of the day, if you can sell something to pay for your other thing, and this is a very expensive hobby, you can hate on me all you want, but I really can't hate on those people. So that is the good, that is the bad, and there is no ugly. So what I want to do next is I want to get these guys open. As I already mentioned, I got some figures to go with this bad boy, and I haven't opened them yet because I've just been waiting for this thing. I didn't think it was going to take Neca a year and a half to get me this vehicle. But let's go ahead and get these open and get them in the van. Alright guys, Turtles are out of the package. We got the Mousers out of the package. I had April already. I did a quick video on her if you want to check it out. As you already know, the figures are brand new and they are tight, so we are not going to be messing with them too much at the moment to have a chance to heat them up and get them a little bit on the loose side. I'm not trying to break these figures. But from a scaling purpose, these things, as you would expect, since they're both made by the same manufacturer, scale perfectly. So I think Leonardo looks fantastic on the van. I went for the lighter green turtles. They actually make two variants. You can get the darker and the lighter, and now they have a whole other set of turtles coming out, which makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of people just getting into this, and Neca's been making Tmnt for years now, so you can't miss out on the brothers, in my opinion. It's sort of the whole backbone, obviously. So now the figures are in the van, or sort of in the van. Real quick, what I want to point out is the gunner seat here. I got Mikey strapped in, but he's not really strapped in. I don't know if I could show you close enough that I'm not comfortable actually pulling the straps all around him and kind of buckling them back in. So that's a little bit concerning. I might mess with it a little bit later off camera, but right now I'm not going to do that. So this kind of gives you a rough idea of what I'm going to try to display the figures, how I'm going to try to display the van. You know, I want to have a little more of an action scene, get some foot soldiers in here. But for now, it just gives you a rough idea. Obviously, I need to swap some heads around on some of the turtles and do some other things, but this is just, once again, sort of a rough idea of how I'm going to go ahead and display this van. Just want to give you guys, you know, that quick, God forbid, excuse me, just a quick peek look here and what, you know, this would look like in your display. So once again, now that I kind of want to focus on this gunner seat here. So, you know, as I said, I can't seem to strap Mike in. I know it can be done. I'll do it later and handle it later. The other thing I kind of want to point out once again are these stupid hinges. Now there's some weight on this hinge here, you know, I'm a little bit concerned about it. I think it's going to be fine, but it is nerve-wracking nonetheless. So this is kind of, once again, everything in display. I want to go ahead and show you guys some comparison from other scaled vehicles, just so you get a feel for really how big this thing is. So without further ado, guys, let's get into scaling. My first vehicle up is a vintage 80s HISS tank, G.I. Joe, you know, 3/3/4 scale, 3/3/4 inch scale vehicle. Once again, comment below, did you get the HasLab HISS tank? I can't wait to get that in. That's going to be my next review. So this is the vintage HISS tank from the 80s to give you guys a little bit of scale next to the Turtle van. Let's keep going to the next vehicle. Next up, we have the Mobile Battle Bunker, a favorite of mine. I have a few of these. Once again, Joe vehicle compared against the Neca Tmnt van. Let's keep this rolling. Next up is the G.I. Joe Brawler. This vehicle is from the 90s. I'm a 90s kid, so I'm a big fan of a lot of the Joe stuff from the 80s, but this is what I grew up with, so definitely had this in my collection. Once again, getting a little bit closer to the scale of the Neca van here, but this is a good idea from a scale standpoint between two different vehicles from completely two different eras. But I think it's kind of fun just to show you guys the difference between the two. Let's go ahead. I want to get something out here that's on the bigger side that's from Neca. I know I had mentioned quarter scale wrap, I think, early in the video. This is my quarter scale foot soldier. I am going to hold on to them because these guys have weight, by the way. Like, these got really good weight, which is a reason why, if you have them, you have to make sure they're real secure, because they fall, the odds are they're going to break because they're really good weight. This thing is significantly heavier than the van. But if you have a quarter scale turtle or foot or shredder, they're actually all the same size. They're not to scale from that sense. Like, you know, shredder should be taller than the turtles, but in quarter scale, they're all the same height. But this gives you guys a good reputation, or a good representative, or a good idea, excuse me, of what this van looks like to something else you might have in your collection. If you don't have quarter scale, I recommend it. If it's something you can fit into the collection, I absolutely love the quarter scale. It's what got me started into collecting, particularly from Neca. So once again, this is quarter scale foot soldier, and I have one more item I want to show you guys to compare from a completely different franchise from a size standpoint. This is the massive AT-AT from the 90s, Power of the Force. You can barely even see me at this point, but I love this thing. This is something, you know, there's a good chance you guys have in your collection, or at least you're familiar with it, so this will really give you guys a good idea from the scaling standpoint how big the turtle van is. I absolutely love this thing. Kind of hiding me back here, but who wants to see my ugly face anyway? Believe it or not, guys, I have, let me get this out of the way real quick. I have one more massive vehicle to put this against. I think that's how I'm going to end all my videos when it comes to comparing any sort of vehicle. You know, I have one particular vehicle that's the biggest in my collection, and it is a 6 scale vehicle. So let's go ahead and check that out, guys. Well, guys, this is the Ultimate Soldier 6 scale M2 Bradley, I believe it is, tank with the now new Neca TMNT van. Let's do this for fun, guys. I'm gonna wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. The takeaway is this: I think this thing is extremely detailed. I think it's extremely awesome. I did not have a chance to test out the lights, but you guys get that gist. Obviously, the big downside where I think Neca really messed up, and honestly, it's unacceptable, are the hinges within this. So you have to be extremely delicate. So if someone's saying that this is a delicate vehicle, from that perspective, it is. So whether you're putting any of the additional accessories onto it, you know, like the gunner seat, or you're just opening and shutting, you have to be careful. So from that perspective, this is definitely a set it and be done with it. Set up here, set it the way you want it, be careful, display it, and call it a day. If you do want to change it up, just be super careful with it. It in itself is fine. Once again, these hinges are just extremely upsetting to me, but it's a great piece. I'm glad it's going to be in the collection. I just got to straighten out my room so I can display this properly. But guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button for this Tmnt van. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.